I mean, what's your profit margin, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr. Sheedy?
Slightly higher.
It's higher than 50% profit margin?
Slightly higher than MasterCard, yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. 50% profit margin. I mean, that's absolutely unbelievable. What's the answer to the Walmart question, by the way, that Senator Welch posed to you? What's Walmart's interchange fee that you negotiate with them?
I don't have it with me today.
You don't have any idea whatsoever? Is it higher or lower than 2.5%?
Walmart negotiates their rates based on the business that they do with us.
Meaning they're big. They're really big. They're gigantic. So they get a better deal than Mr. Callahan or most small businesses in Missouri. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, Senator,
Senator Josh Hawley sharply criticized Visa and MasterCard, accusing the two companies of abusing their market power and driving up costs for both small businesses and consumers. The exchange quickly became heated, as executives struggled to defend profit margins that exceed 50%. What unfolded was a rare, direct confrontation over credit card fees, consumer debt, and the lack of competition in the U.S. payment system.
Walmart and other major competitors getting charged much less than you are. Why in the world would you stick with these guys? I mean, why is it that small businesses continue to use Visa and MasterCard when you're getting charged so much more?
It's in my opinion, it's a matter of convenience for the customer. And customers matter to our business.
Maybe is it because that Visa and MasterCard are effectively monopolies? They control 80% of the market?
Certainly part of the
80% of the market? I'm just having a hard time
This hearing focused on interchange fees, often called swipe fees. These are the charges merchants pay every time a customer uses a credit card. For small businesses, these fees can quietly drain revenue day after day. During the hearing, Senator Hawley pressed Visa and MasterCard executives on their profit margins. Both companies acknowledged margins hovering around or above 50%. Hawley called these numbers staggering. He emphasized that such margins are almost unheard of in most industries, especially for companies that operate essential financial infrastructure. Visa and MasterCard together control
a hard time finding that position defensible, let alone sympathetic. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of money that you're making. It's unbelievable what you're charging small businesses and consumers, and yet your testimony is, please, we can't possibly have any competition. I mean, let's talk about what you're doing to consumers who hold your cards. Last year, as I understand it, there were 726 million Visa and MasterCard credit cards issued in the United States. That's about 2 for every one person in the United States of America. Do either of you know how much debt is owed on your networks, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
We're not the bank, so we don't have visibility into that information. We also don't generate revenue from interchange.
Oh, okay, you have no idea. Mr. Sheedy, do you know?
I don't know.
Well, let me help you out. Let's have a look. It's $1.17 trillion. $1.17 trillion is what consumers now owe on your credit card networks. Do either of you know what the average interest rate is on your networks? Ms. Kirkpatrick?
Oh, Senator, we're not the bank. We don't.
Hawley called these numbers staggering. He emphasized that such margins are almost unheard of in most industries, especially for companies that operate essential financial infrastructure. Visa and MasterCard together control roughly 80% of the credit card market. This dominance, Hawley argued, leaves merchants with little choice but to accept their terms. According to the senator, this is not a competitive market. It is a closed system where the same companies set the rules, collect the fees, and block meaningful alternatives. A key moment came when the discussion turned to Walmart. Executives admitted they could not provide Walmart's exact interchange rate, but confirmed that large companies receive better pricing due to volume. In simple terms, the bigger the company, the lower the fee.
True. You've got debt like we've never seen before in American history. Your profit margins are as high or higher than they've ever been. You have 80% of the relevant market in the credit card interchange fees that we're talking about, and yet you couldn't survive if there's any competition? What am I missing? That's not a rhetorical question. How is it that you can't do any better?
Senator, we like competition very much. As my colleague from MasterCard mentioned, we don't loan money to consumers. That's the job of the banks. I will say, as it relates to small business, we care very much. And the pandemic was difficult on small business more than anyone. In 2022, we lowered rates for 90% of small businesses in the United States. I also think that many of the security and the digital features that have been put in the network help small businesses.
Wait a minute, but wait a minute. My time is almost expired. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. But hold on just a second. You've increased the swipe fees.
Executives admitted they could not provide Walmart's exact interchange rate, but confirmed that large companies receive better pricing due to volume. In simple terms, the bigger the company, the lower the fee. Small businesses do not receive the same benefit. Senator Hawley highlighted this imbalance, noting that a local business in Missouri pays far more per transaction than a retail giant. A small business owner at the hearing explained why merchants stay with Visa and MasterCard despite the cost. The reason was not satisfaction. It was customer expectation. Credit cards have become unavoidable in modern commerce. Hawley described the system as classic monopolistic behavior. He cited estimates showing Missouri businesses alone lose around $1.5 billion per year due to interchange fees. Nationwide,
This has to change. 1.17 trillion in debt. This has to change. And I'll just end with this, Mr. Chairman. I thought one of the best proposals that the President-elect Trump, made during his last campaign, his most recent campaign, was to cap the interest rates of credit cards. So we could do that. We could do this and that. I think it's a great idea. I don't know why 30%, 30% interest rate should be charged on debt like this. I don't understand it. And I don't understand why you won't accept the smallest modicum of competition when it comes to these retailer fees. And I'm just here to tell you, this will not stand. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll start out with you, Mr. Cantor. Last time we discussed this topic in the committee, you agreed we needed more antitrust enforcement in the area. It is actually fitting that Senator Grassley and I are both here because he and I were.
the reason was not satisfaction. It was customer expectation. Credit cards have become unavoidable in modern commerce. Hawley described the system as classic monopolistic behavior. He cited estimates showing Missouri businesses alone lose around $1.5 billion per year due to interchange fees. Nationwide, the cost is far higher. The senator argued that merchants cannot simply walk away because Visa and MasterCard dominate the payment landscape. Executives claim they support competition. Hawley strongly disputed that claim. He referenced ongoing Justice Department lawsuits accusing Visa of threatening retailers with severe penalties if they use competing networks. He also cited allegations that Visa and MasterCard pay potential competitors not to enter the market. The hearing then shifted to consumer impact. Senator Hawley pointed to a troubling figure. Americans currently carry about $1.17 trillion.
Has helped. Certainly the FTC's action with MasterCard has been helpful, and it's not the first time they've had to weigh in on this. There were issues with Visa and MasterCard and the point-of-sale providers getting in the way of competition on debit cards as well. We very much welcome the Department of Justice suit against Visa. Obviously, that has to play out. We'll see where that goes. But I think what's telling here is that the DOJ lawsuit is only on debit cards, even though Wall Street Journal story just after that came out shows much of similar behavior applies to credit cards as well. The problem is, on credit cards, there's no underlying competitive dynamic or law that creates some competitive market economics here. We need that. That's why we need this bill, is so that the enforcers can do their job like they're doing on debit cards.
Thank you very much. Professor Alford, when you served in the Justice Department's Antitrust Division, the Supreme Court created new rules in the Ohio v. American Express case, dictating how antitrust enforcers
He
must
referenced
evaluate
ongoing Justice Department lawsuits accusing Visa of threatening retailers with severe penalties if they use competing networks. He also cited allegations that Visa and MasterCard pay potential competitors not to enter the market. The hearing then shifted to consumer impact. Senator Hawley pointed to a troubling figure. Americans currently carry about $1.17 trillion in credit card debt. That debt runs through Visa and MasterCard networks. Executives stated they do not control interest rates, noting that banks issue the cards. However, Hawley emphasized that these networks profit from a system built on growing consumer debt. Recent reports show the average credit card interest rate has reached nearly 29%. That figure has almost doubled in just 4 years. Hawley described the rate as unprecedented and unsustainable. One of the most pointed accusations involved swipe fee increases. Despite expanding networks and rising profits, Visa and MasterCard have continued to raise fees. This occurred even as small businesses struggled during and after the pandemic. Executives claimed they lowered rates for many small businesses. Hawley countered that overall fees